Sholem Alechem. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom Alechem. Alright, some updates. The Bundist movement, or in full, the Jewish Bundist diaspora movement, has unfinished business. This movement will at some point most likely come to an end, but it's not over yet, and the website is going to stay up. What we will be publishing is a manifesto. Now, there's been too many setbacks for this. Those setbacks will not be forever. But this manifesto, everybody has written for it. The five late members of the Bundist movement have written for it. Donna Newman has written for it, and I have written for it. I had found them. I had found all the PDFs for it, and then I lost them again, and I will re-find them again because I have to, I have them all on different USBs. And when I get these to Dr. Weisfeld, he's supposed to put some commentary in it, and then we will be able to put out this manifesto. And the ultimate purpose of that is that Bundism has been in need of serious upgrade, and we believe, we hold with great conviction that we did upgrade Bundism. Now, before I used to refer to Bundism as a methodology as opposed to an ideology, and one time, and I cannot remember when, Dr. Weisfeld actually said, why not refer to it as an ideological methodology? And yeah, he was correct, actually. Bundism is actually an ideological methodology, rather than just a methodology or saying it's an ideology. That would be the correct term. Because there is something very ideological to Bundism, but it is more of a methodology. Especially if we're taking whatever we can find logical for what we're doing from both anarchism and Marxism, as well as other tendencies. So, tendencies, more like ideologies. Anyway, I don't want to rant. Today's video is going to deal with something that I wanted to get to before, but I'm having serious computer problems. As I've had some upgrades for computers, thinking that this would make things better, it actually made things worse. And that's not because... I have to adjust sound. I'm sure you can tell the audio quality here is not very good. Yet, I do have the responsibility to put stuff out. I'm your host, Comrade Net. Comrade Net, my title is the Cleric of Public Relations for the Bundist Movement. I work with Dr. Abram Weisfeld, the chairman of the revolution. That is his title for the Bundist Movement, and I work with Donna Newman, Emissary of Solidarity, which is her title for the Bundist Movement, and she is mostly incapacitated due to the 2 strokes she had last year. Anyway, there's this video. I don't know what you would really call this video that I'm about to present to you. But the events out here, the events in this video happened out here in Arizona, in Phoenix, Arizona. What you're about to see took place. It took place at a gas station. The gas station called Super Pumper. This video was put out by Greg Cam. The first thing I'm going to show you is the video, the original footage from Greg Cam. Now, I'm not really sure the exact date that this altercation took place, although I would place it around something like June 7th, 2020, or June 8th, 2020. Now, this is really all part of the reality in Phoenix, Arizona. what you're about to see here. This kind of thing is not unique, though, to Arizona at all. But it is a side that the metropolitan area likes to pretend does not exist. So without further ado, I give you this video, the racist gas station altercation on cam. It was put up by Greg Cam. Again, I'm not exactly sure when it came out, and I'm a little late giving this to you. It either came, I'm guessing it came out somewhere from, it was very, very recent. It was somewhere around June 7, 2020 or June 8, 2020. And forgive me for not having the exact date. So here's the video.
Oh, I said she is, and that's why she's leaving. Okay. So you will leave too.
No. This is going all over the internet. You don't know who I am. You told her to go back to her country, where she's from.
That's assault.
Yeah.
You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
Where were you born? Where were you born? I was born in America. Where are your ancestors from? They're not from this country. You're going back to Mexico. You better go back to where you're from.
You just walked into her. Excuse me.
Hey, God.
Wow,
oh my God.
Yeah, you deserved it.
Oh my God.
In my opinion. Yeah, you pushed her and she smacked you. That was self-defense on her part.
Oh, she grabbed me.
Nope.
Please.
For extra perspective on what you just saw, I'm going to provide now something from the local news out here in Arizona, from channel 12 News, which is run by NBC. And to be clear, the Bundes movement does not endorse NBC. In fact, we do not endorse the local Arizona stations, because they could do far better than they do. But they don't. So this is not an endorsement. But by the rules of fair use, it's perfectly permissible what I'm doing. This video called Caught on Camera, Confrontation Over Racist Comments in Phoenix Gas Station, published June 8, 2020.
Trending tonight, an altercation turning violent at a Phoenix gas station over the weekend over alleged racism. Video inside the Super Pumper gas station shows a woman loudly asking others to leave the store after telling a clerk not to serve a couple. The woman, identified as Tamara Harrion of Glendale, can be heard asking the younger woman where she was born and appearing to grab her before the young girl slaps her back across the face. Now Harrion's husband, Robert Harrion, is apologizing for his wife's actions, saying that she struggles with mental health problems. 12 News spoke with Greg Kahn, the man who posted this video, who says he shared it to bring awareness and stand up for what's right.
Record it. Record, and document anything you see that is racist towards somebody else. I mean, this is the time where we need to speak up, especially as a Caucasian people, to speak up and help the situation at hand, not make it worse, and definitely not stay silent.
Let's go back to this video. In it, Tamara Harrion identifies herself as a store manager, which is not true. She is in no way, in fact, affiliated with Super Pumper and has never worked there. In an email, Super Pumper owner Merrick Frederick said she's been banned from all locations and Super Pumper does not condone any type of hate speech. We'll have more on this story for you tonight at 10.
Now, this next video on the same subject is called Viral Video Shows, quote, Karen Getting Slapped for Racist Remarks. Now, this one is put out by CBS 17, another local station. It was published on June 9, 2020. Just like before, this local news is also not endorsed by the Bundes movement, and the justification for using it is fair use. And it just happens to be a topic that we are known for talking about. So, I'm within my rights for showing this, as this is a subject close to us and close to what we deal with and what we've been trying to show a lot of people. And so, we have avoided using the local news whenever there's something of interest that actually does show up. And I guess after a lot of crap that happened, recently last year, who cares? This was within our rights to show this. This came out, this was published on June 9th, 2020 by CBS 17. Again, the video is titled "Viral Video Shows Karen Getting Slapped for Racist Remarks."
Are you the manager?
Greg Kahn, the man behind this now viral video, talks about the moment 3 lives collided inside this gas station on 7th Street near Bell Road in Phoenix.
5 seconds after I was checking out, this lady walks in and was all upset that her pump wasn't working and there was a line in the gas station, so she started yelling at the clerk to go get another clerk to come out.
He says he starts recording as this woman starts arguing with another customer and out of nowhere making it about race.
And the lady just went off on her, told her that she worked there, that told the cashier not to serve her, and that she can go back to her country.
You did say that she needs to go back to her country. What is that?
Originally, Native Americans
Excuse
are from
me, this is what this whole world.
White people are not from this country.
She then directs her anger towards Greg and his camera.
You need to leave. You're not a part of this.
Surveillance video given to us by Super Pumper shows as the woman continues to walk toward the couple, pointing her finger, even pushing the man in his shoulder, while his hands are in his pockets.
That's assault.
Yeah.
You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
Where were you born? Where were you born?
After that, the argument escalates.
You're going back to Mexico.
And then that's when the lady pushes Karina, and the lady actually hits her right there.
Yeah, you deserved it.
The video has been shared thousands of times, and the woman's husband says his law firm is now the target of harassment.
All I can tell you is my wife is gone and has been going through a mental crisis.
He says following this incident, his wife is undergoing an intervention.
And I love her dearly, and it's not who she is. And I just want everyone to know how sorry I am. The lady that had the altercation, I'm so sorry. I don't know her name. I don't know how to reach her, but I just want to share with her that I'm just so sorry that all that happened.
In the meantime, Super Pumper has decided to ban the woman from all 13 of their stores in the state. In Phoenix, Monica Garcia with Arizona's Family.
And now this next one is called "I was appalled at the behavior she was displaying. Woman harassed at Phoenix gas station speaks out." This video was published June 9th, 2020. Again, June 9th, 2020. You can hear me. I mean, bad sound quality, and I do apologize. This came from 12 News. Again, that's owned by NBC, and we don't endorse that local station, but under the rules of fair use, we are within our rights to take this out.
Well, it's the video making the rounds right now on social media. A woman on a racist tirade at a local gas station. Team 12's Rachel Cole brings us details from the victim's perspective after being screamed at and asked to leave.
Hey there, Karina, the woman seen being harassed in the video who innocently popped into the Super Pumper gas station, is now talking about what went down in that viral video.
Where were you born? Where were you born? I was born in America. Where are your ancestors from?
She saw a bunch of people of color that she didn't like, and she decided to come for us.
In the Facebook video captured by Greg Kahn, another customer, you can see Tamara in black and white screaming at Karina.
You better go back to where you're from.
You just walked into her. Excuse me.
Oh my God.
It hurt my feelings for other people that can't protect or defend themselves.
You're going back to Mexico.
Karina, who was born in the United States, says this kind of hatred is part of the present problem.
Honestly, I was just appalled at the behavior that she was displaying. She came in immediately acting like she was above everybody else.
At one point, Tamara seems to claim she works at the convenience store. Her husband, Bob, has since apologized for her actions.
Horrible things were said, and a lot of those horrible things came from my wife. But it came from a spot of an illness that I've been trying to help and fix for a long time.
Karina is hopeful her physical encounter will help enlighten others to be kind and courteous, no matter the circumstance.
I just want to be the motion that moves forward and just shows our generation that we can't stand for this, that we should be better than they are, that they were. We should realize our faults and within ourselves and work forward to make ourselves and our world and our country better.
Rachel Cole, 12 News.
Mrs. Harrion said by some to be the co-owner of Harrion Law Firm in Glendale, Arizona. It does look like that is the case as I researched this. Now, her husband, that being the gray-haired dude with the mustache, this is Robert F. Harron. Now, I just want to say that his crying appeared to me to be rather tearless. So I'm not sure how much I buy it, and I don't really feel... I'm going to be honest, I feel absolutely no sympathy, and I hope that law firm goes down. I'm getting tired of my self-censorship that, whatever. As I have to deal with a lot of this all the time and watch this right before my eyes. And then hear people say that, oh, this stuff doesn't happen. It happens every day. It just so happens that now the media is trying to pay attention to it because they know that that's what's going to keep them relevant in the eyes of others. I'm sorry. So anyway, yeah, this is Harrion. She said by some to be the co-owner of a Harrion law firm, and it does look like that's the case. It's a law firm in Glendale, Arizona. Now, I have confirmed that our local media is being truthful that Mrs. Harrion is not the gas station owner, and that she has been banned from all of the super pumpers in Arizona. Now, I really don't know if the lady who slapped Mrs. Harrion, that being I believe the person who is said to be Mexican, which there's no clarification that she's Mexican. But this lady, basically the lady who slapped the white racist, the one who actually slapped her in retaliation, that is. I have no idea whether she's Mexican or not, but that does bring up an important point. I feel it necessary to remind everyone that Mexicans are Native Americans, and that also European citizens of Mexico are not Mexican. Here in Arizona, and we don't understand often that here in Arizona, all of the scars are very visible for us to see. These scars, we call this, there's a word for it, a correct term for this. The scars that we see in Arizona, the scars of Arizona, can only be referred to as cultural genocide. The fact that Mexicans are Central Native Americans, and yet many of them have been brainwashed into calling themselves Latino or Hispanic, and that European citizens of the Mexican state are referred to as Mexican when they're Europeans, that just shows you how far the cultural genocide has gone. It's an ongoing physical genocide and cultural genocide. And that's one of the reasons why this is so important. You heard the white racist, that being Mrs. Harrion. She says, go back to Mexico, even though she is a European immigrant. So, the woman, I believe her name was Katrina, I think that was her name. She's Native American. Maybe she is Mexican, maybe she is not. However, being Mexican does not disqualify being Native American. In fact, Mexicans are Native American. Now, there are, of course, as I said before, the European citizens of Mexico who are not Mexicans. They're just Europeans. What I say shouldn't be controversial, but it is, which shows that the racism never stopped. The United States racism, in fact, is on the rise, and will most likely soon surpass what we saw with Jim Crow and Jane Crow. And we don't have room for the optimism that the fascists want us to have, because that keeps us quiet and asleep, complacent. Anyway, I'm not going to edit this video. any further. I'm not going to filter the rage that I feel over all of this. But what I will do is I'm going to close this video with something very special, with the special presentation for everyone. I'm going to close this video with a message from the chairman of the Revolution for the Bundist Movement. This video was published by our chairman himself, Dr. Weisfeld. He published this video on June 7, 2020. This video is called Joint Declaration of Support and Solidarity for Anti-Racism Revolt.
This is Dr. Abraham Weisfeld speaking in France and presenting the declaration that has been composed by various collectives on an international scale. This is a joint declaration of support and solidarity for anti-racism revolt. Hello, comrades and siblings from around the globe. This is a message of support and solidarity from several unified collectives and individuals of ethnically diverse, international socialists and progressives of faith, inspired by the Abrahamic religions to work together for a better world. Recently, the ongoing issue of racist violence and police lynchings has resurfaced in the international public consciousness, sparked by the extrajuridical murders of George Floyd in Minneapolis, Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia, Drizon Sean Reed in Indianapolis, and Breonna Taylor of Louisville at the hands of white militants and police. This form of violence has been ongoing since the onset of colonialism and chattel slavery over 500 years ago. Despite the attempts of the white supremacist ruling class to conceal this issue, public awareness has become more widespread thanks to technology and the efforts of black activists and their allies to bring attention to this issue. As socialists and progressives, we are called to address the inequities of civilization. As people of faith, we are called to fight for justice, uphold the God-given rights of all peoples, and safeguard the vulnerable. Through slavery, Jim Crow laws, voter suppression, economic inequality, educational inequalities, to systematic violence, the white supremacist ruling class has long subjected black and brown people on an international level. Black America has never been treated equitably by white European America. In a nation where, according to the Washington Post's official counter, approximately 1,252 black people have been shot by police since the 1st of January 2015. How can any black person be safe? The anti-black violence happening in America and throughout the world is inexorably linked to other acts of racist, ethnocentric, and intolerant terrorism committed by white oppressors throughout the world, such as the recent anti-Semitic massacres of synagogues in America and Germany, the anti-Muslim attacks on a masjid in New Zealand, the killings and imprisonment of Latin American refugees at the American border, the ongoing disappearings, sexual assaults, and murders of the indigenous people of the Americas, the anti-Semitic police killings in Phoenix, Arizona, the ongoing lethal occupation of Palestine at the hands of the Zionist occupation, the multinational attacks on Kurds, as well as countless other atrocities. Protesters taking to the streets in order to promote justice and fight inequality are also targeted by racist violence. A number of protesters have been intentionally hit by cars and in some cases have died. Police and white militants have also assaulted and killed a number of protesters throughout the United States. In Seattle, the city government instructed police officers to turn off their body cameras to conceal the use of deadly force. As the violence escalates towards black and brown people, the politicians and media largely condemn the fight for justice and try to suppress public knowledge of these attacks. President Trump threatened on Twitter, Facebook, and a public address inside the White House Rose Garden to have protesters killed. The National Guard has been activated to suppress the movement for justice, a lethal tactic historically used to further militant and state-sanctioned oppression in the United States and abroad. Support from people throughout the world is needed in order to help save the lives of oppressed people struggling for liberation. As people of faith and members of a prophetic, revolutionary Jewish, Christian, and Muslim movement that spans many ages and all continents, we are inspired by the example of Moses, who organized his people to rise up against the ruling class of slave owners led by Pharaoh. We are inspired by Elijah, who called his people to rise up against the dictator Achav and his ideologues, who were the prophets of Baal. We were inspired by Jesus, who rioted against the commercial elite in the temple and against the Roman Empire that occupied Palestine. We are inspired by Muhammad, who organized his comrades and the oppressed and exploited masses of the Arabian Peninsula to rise up against the power of the ruling Qusayri elite. Just as the prophets rebelled against the idolatrous law of their age, the worshipping of rulers as gods, the propaganda portraying the hierarchy of society as divinely ordained, the justification of oppression and slavery by calling it the will of the gods, so we must too call out the idolatry of today, the worship of wealth and power, the veneration of banks and stock exchanges, the seemingly almighty status of financial institutions. These are the modern equivalents of the kings and slave lords that the prophets rose up against. And in accordance with their example, we must continue this hallowed Abrahamic tradition and fight against oppression and injustice in our time and place. Our Creator calls us to fight injustice and inequality and to protect human life. As socialists and progressives who strive to create a world which protects the inherent rights and freedoms bestowed by our Creator's mercy upon us all, we have an obligation to support the fight for justice and liberty for Black and brown people in the United States of America and across the globe. We must do all we can to support and further the struggle for racial justice until all racialized people are free from all forms of imperialistic colonial oppression. We are at our strongest when united in love and in the pursuit of justice. Our prayers, our support, and our solidarity in every way possible are with the people of color in America and across the world. Our collective stand with racialized people in America and throughout the world. Black Lives Matter. This declaration is available in other languages, in Deutsch, Espanol, Francais, Italiano, and Nederlandisch. There is a list of collectives and individuals who have endorsed this joint declaration, which is found at the website address, which is, without any spaces, I announce the address as being Joint Solidarity Message 2020.noblogs.org. I can also read to you the names of the collectives which have endorsed this joint declaration. The Alliance of Concerned Jewish Canadians, Black Dawa Network, Compassion-Centered Islam Network, Jewish Bundesdiaspora Movement, JPLO, the Jewish People's Liberation Organization, Mecca Institute, Nuova Resistenza, the El Tawhid Unity Mosque, Toronto, Canada, the online communities of the ESCA Theological Postings, Progressive Muslims Facebook community, Jewish Comrades for Socialism, Muslims for Socialism, Rebuild Christians for Socialism, and a number of individuals, Alejandro Manzano from Mexico, Bert Jonkers, Belgium, Imam Dair Abdullah, United States of America, Jules Espigeau, Canada, Kevin Morgan, Canada, Red Wasp, Cornel Larnaud in Belgium. Thanking you for your attention and directing you to the websites to be able to copy and share this declaration to make us all stronger. Thanking you very much for hearing us today. And I would reiterate that in order to be liberated, one must struggle to be victorious over our various oppressions. Thanking you again. Bye for now.